Sports bettors, our last entry on PrizePicks, we turned $75 into 1.8K with the new 6-pick flex play. So 6-pick flex plays, you go 6 for 6, you get 25 times your money, which is exactly what we hit. So pretty crazy. All plays, again, just based in data, based in math, based in logic. And what we're going to be doing today is just finding a few more sharp bets, right? I have a 5-pick flex play on PrizePicks, all picks for the NFL. So how do you make money on PrizePicks? The first thing you need to understand is, how does this platform work, right? How does PrizePicks work? It's not intuitive, right? The way that this platform works is, what you'll notice is any 2 picks you select, you're getting 20 to win 60. If I change this to an under, 20 to win 60. If I change this to an under, 20 to win 60. If I switch picks, hey, guess what? 20 to win 60. Any 2-pick entry, 20 to win 60. So long story short, PrizePicks is a fixed parlay platform. They don't vary your payout depending on the picks you select, if you take overs or unders, whatever. So what's most advantageous are the 5 and 6-pick flex plays, because PrizePicks is charging the lowest implied juice. So we've gone through this in, tons of other videos, but long story short, you should never be playing 3-pick power plays on PrizePicks. You would much rather prefer a 2-pick power play. But if you have 5 or 6 picks you like, then a 5-pick flex play is advantageous in terms of the implied odds. So when we're playing on PrizePicks, you have a few different options, a few different strategies. One is, it's free to browse odds on OddsJam, any sport you want to look at, any league you want to look at. So what you could do is you can just scan lines on PrizePicks, compare it to the sports books, and see where you're getting value, right? So as an example here, it doesn't really make sense to take Quez Watkins over 24.5, receiving yards on PrizePicks at minus 119 implied odds in a 5-pick flex play if I can get it minus 111 on Thrive Fantasy. So it's all about finding value as a sharp sports bettor, right? It doesn't really make sense to take over 42.5 receiving yards for Treylon Burks if I can get over 39.5 at better odds and a better line 3 yards lower on Thrive Fantasy. So once again, that's not really a play I want to go with. Similarly, if you wanted to take his under, this is how a sharp sports bettor would think. Well, I don't really want to take Burks under 42.5 receiving yards at minus 119 implied odds in a 5-pick flex play on PrizePicks. If I can just go to the sports books, Unibet or William Hill, and get under 46.5, 4 yards higher, 4 yards better at minus 112. Right? So you always want to be finding value, looking for value as a sharp sports bettor. So long story short, you can always browse odds for free on OddsJam and just kind of hunt for value manually. But what this positive EV tool will do for you is essentially just scan PrizePicks. There's probably 10,000 odds on this website. If you look at receiving yards, receptions, all the different sports, and you can see right here, I'm just filtered for the NFL, is all OddsJam's going to do is it's going to scan all of the lines and show you where the value is. So for example, the highest profit margin play on PrizePicks currently is Treylon Burks over 3.5 receptions. Why is this play so good, right? There's no BS. There's no fancy stuff going on. On PrizePicks in a 5-pick flex play, you're getting minus 119 implied odds. What you're going to notice is, hey, all of the sports books are pricing Burks over 3.5 receptions from minus 154 to minus 183 on Pinnacle, which is known to be the sharpest bookmaker, the most efficient betting market. So clearly, the over should be a heavy favorite. Pinnacle is almost a 2-to-1 favorite. They're almost minus 200, so a 2-to-1 favorite on Burks going over 3.5 receptions. So every sportsbook, right, they set lines independently. They set odds independently. So what we want to do is treat every single bookmaker as an independent data point of where the line should be set and look for value. So on Caesars, they have this minus 154. Getting minus 119 seems pretty good. On Unibet, they have this minus 159. Getting minus 119 seems pretty good. On DraftKings, same thing. They're pricing minus 115. Getting minus 119 seems pretty good, right? So you look at every sportsbook and you kind of get a viewpoint of where the line should be set. And then it becomes very clear that Treylon Burks over 3.5 receptions is definitely a play we want to hit on PrizePicks at minus 119 implied odds. So I locked it in. Right, you can see Pinnacle, they have this minus 183. We're getting 64 cents of improvement from the sharpest bookmaker. That's an absolute no-brainer. So next I went with Dalvin Cook over 2.5 receptions. Same strategy. I just follow the numbers. I follow the math. What's beautiful about sharp sports betting is when you just follow the numbers, you follow the math. You know, you may not win every bet, but you know everything is rooted in data. It's rooted in math. It's rooted in finding value. The same way an investor looks for value, we're looking for value as a sharp sports bettor. So this is the second play I went with. Now the third pick I went with is right here. Demarcus Robinson under 3 receptions. So this is called a screen on OddsJam. This is called the OddsJam screen. And what you'll notice is what it lets you do is for a specific market, you can look at any market, you can browse the entire market side by side, every single sportsbook. So OddsJam's updating millions of odds in real time. And the first thing I noticed that stuck out at me is, whoa, why is there such a big discrepancy in Demarcus Robinson? Underdog Fantasy has his line at over under 2 receptions. PrizePicks at 3. That is massive if you think about it, right? And the sports books have him at 2.5. So we definitely want to take the under on PrizePicks. I mean, you can see some sports books, they have the under 2.5 favored. Betway, Caesars, they both have under 2.5 receptions favored. We're getting under 3. If Robinson has exactly 3 receptions, right, we're winning. Sorry, I apologize. If he has exactly 3 receptions, we're pushing on PrizePicks. Everyone else is losing. So this is a spot where we're getting a lot of value. So essentially, I just use this screen to look for big discrepancies. The positive EV tool won't show you these discrepancies because the positive EV tool looks for value against the same line, right? So the positive EV tool is great because it shows us, hey, Treylon Burks, every bookmaker has over 3.5 receptions heavily juiced, but PrizePicks only has it minus 119, right? PrizePicks doesn't have juice in either direction. Any 2 picks you select, as we showed earlier, you take the overs, the unders, you're betting 20 to win 60. There is no juice, right? Or there is juice, but it doesn't matter if you take the over or the under. It's always the same price, the same payout, the same implied odds, right? Minus 119. So long story short, you know, you can use the EV tool to find discrepancies when sportsbooks are setting the line the same level as PrizePicks. But where you can also find opportunity is using this screen is when sportsbooks have different lines than where PrizePicks is setting their line or underdog, right? So OddsJam is all really about just like taking, you know, the millions of odds across these sports books, updating them in real time, and presenting the data in a way to you that's actionable. So the EV tool makes it really easy to see, hey, PrizePicks is charging minus 119 implied odds in a 5-pick flex. We're clearly getting value over 3.5 on PrizePicks because every sportsbook has this minus 154 to minus 183. But what the screen enables me to do is look at the market as a whole and be like, whoa, underdog and PrizePicks, they're off by 1 reception, which is massive. In all of the sportsbooks, they have the over-under at 2.5. Not really juiced. Some sportsbooks have the under juiced, some have the over juiced. But I mean, if anything, you want to take the over on underdog, the under on PrizePicks. That would be incredible. You get a middle, right? If he has 2 or 3 receptions, you're winning one bet and you're pushing the other. So that's the third play I went with. right? So I use all the tools on OddsJam just to try to like find value. Sportsbooks, PrizePicks, Underdog, all of these platforms, DraftKings, FanDuel, they have the same business model. Charge the vig, charge the juice, and assume sports bettors aren't smart enough to beat their vig, which is typically 4 to 5%. Right? Minus 119 juice on PrizePicks, that's the implied juice for a 3-pick entry, or I apologize, for a 5-pick flex play. So if you go to a vig calculator, you can see they're charging an 8%, 8.68% spread in a 5-pick flex play. So what PrizePicks is saying is you can't find an 8.7% edge over us. And in general, they're right? Just like scanning odds manually, I'm not going to be able to find an edge over PrizePicks. But when I'm using software, the software will make it easy to identify when PrizePicks has massive line discrepancies, when they're really screwing up. Like in this DeMarcus Robinson play, right? You have a full reception difference between PrizePicks and Underdog, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. 2 to 3, like that's a massive difference because his receptions line is so low. His distribution is centered around 2.5 receptions. So the probability this guy has 2 or 3 receptions is probably like 55%, right? It's pretty high. So he's not getting 10 receptions. This guy's in Travis Kelce, right? He probably always throughout the season has had 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 receptions. Mainly 2 and 3, based on, where the market's currently set. So next I went with Duvernay under 2.5. Just following the EV tool, just looking for the bet and bold with a circle around it. I went with Duvernay under, Kelce over. You can see my play right here. 6 picks. We're betting. I also went with Brandon Ayuk. I apologize. I should have shown that on the screen. So again, 4 versus 4.5. Another discrepancy that I was able to find. Sportsbooks have his line at 4.5. Granted, slightly juiced towards the under, but not by much, right? So being able to get over 4 on PrizePicks is incredible value. Again, we push if he has 4 receptions. Anyone who places this bet on Underdog or a sportsbook, they're losing if he has 4 receptions. We're pushing. That extra value is how you beat PrizePicks in the long run. So I'm betting 40 to win 1,000. It's not because I would have only bet 40. It's just the max they let me bet on the 6-pick flex play. They only let me bet to win $1,000. So this is what I went with. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Let's make some money.